What's up, everyone? So I am live streaming on the STEEM blockchain and I'm live streaming on YouTube at the same time, two different phones. So today I want to talk about the overall crypto market. I want to talk about the Monero forks. I also want to talk about STEEM getting added to Houbi. It's going to talk a little bit about Golos and then mention some stuff about Electronium and then Vice and Smoke as well. So that's kind of a lot of stuff. So let's get right into it. Looks like the live stream on D Live is upside down. I'm going to flip this here and did not expect that. So had the phone flip the other way. See if we can get this coordinated a little better. It's kind of ridiculous, actually, if you guys saw how I have this thing set up. It's just, I pretty much just got these phones propped up against books, and it's not the greatest setup here. So I'm just going to move this way a little bit. Okay, so I'm on both screens and everything. Basically, what I want to talk about to start with is just the overall market. So my synopsis earlier, after we'd gotten dumped on by the whole Mt. Gox trustee and Bitcoin went down to 5,900, I felt that Bitcoin would probably hit a lower low because the last two crashes that we've had, the one that was in 2011 and then the one, actually the last three. So the one that happened in 2011, the one that happened in March of 2013, and the one that happened in December of 2013, all those peaks ended up doing a dead cat bounce, going up, and then going down to a lower low. Now, this one went back down to, in the 6,000s, low 6,000s. It looked like we might retrace and go to a lower low. But I feel like with this recent surge, personally, I don't think we're going to go to a lower low. I think that there's a 10% chance we might go to a lower low, but 90% chance that we kind of hit a double bottom sort of situation and people are going to FOMO too much here of recent, and things are starting to pick back up. And I can just, and I'm not doing that because of moving averages and looking at the 200-day moving average or looking at RSI or doing like Elliott wave theory, none of that kind of stuff. I'm just saying that based on the way people are talking, the way people are acting out there, and just the general sentiment and just kind of the amount of viewership that I'm seeing on people's videos on YouTube, that it's kind of picking up a little bit. But we are having people that are still dropping out. They're still upset. They felt like they got dumped on and they lost a lot of money. And definitely, guys, it was really rough. I mean, for everybody to sit there and hold through that, and it's just, God, it was painful. And we might not be out of the woods completely. I mean, maybe Bitcoin pops down to, 7 or 8,000 or something, and then kind of finds some more footing and comes back up, or Litecoin, falls down to 130 or 140 or something. It just kind of bounces around. But I don't think that Bitcoin is going to go lower than 5,900, and I don't think that Litecoin is going to go below 115. That's my personal opinion. Now, the Mt. Gox trustee was moving some more Bitcoin again and moved something like, 10,000 or 16,000 Bitcoins into another wallet. So people are watching that. We don't know if they're going to dump more in the future. My assessment would probably be yes, they probably will sell some out, but I think you're going to get some big money coming in. We already have seen it. We're seeing stuff surge. I mean, today we had Sia Coin and Bitcoin Diamonds popping off like crazy. Yesterday we had STEEM popping off like crazy with the Houbi news, which I'm going to get into here in a second. But first I want to talk about the Monero forks. Now, if you guys knew, maybe, 3 or 4 weeks ago, basically Monero was trying to prevent ASIC mining on Monero, and basically there was 4 different forks that resulted from it. And I want to talk in particular about Monero Classic and Monero Original, and now they're suddenly trading around $20 each, which is kind of crazy. Now, I'm not on like tons of exchanges and stuff like that, so how much manipulation is there? I'm not sure, but Monero Classic had $22 million worth of volume in the last 24 hours. That's quite a bit. So that's interesting. And we've got the MoneroV hard fork coming up in 6 days. So if you guys didn't know, there's another hard fork Monero in 6 days. If you're in a wallet where you hold your private keys, then you'll be able to access that. I wouldn't recommend holding that on an exchange to try to collect the coins. HitBTC said that they're gonna support it, and then also CoinRoom, CoinEx, OctaveX or something like that, BTC Alpha. I wouldn't trust HitBTC. I actually trust Yobit more than I trust HitBTC at this point because of the Ignis airdrop. When there was the airdrop with NXT and we were supposed to get our Ignis, and HitBTC never came up with it, so I wouldn't trust them. So, watch out for MoneroV. It looks like it does have somewhat of a decent support, and you're going to get 10 coins per Monero. So Monero investors, keep an eye out on that, and keep an eye out on these other forks that happen: Monero Classic, Monero Original, and then when you do the recovery, use good practices, move your coins into another wallet, and then go and recover all these other coins, from the original wallet that your private keys were in. So, to Steem, I want to talk about Steem. Yesterday it spiked up huge. It was like, sweet. And it was all because the Houbi exchange was adding it in China, and that was going to be a big deal and all that stuff. And then suddenly it got delayed. So they're going to have a BTC market, an Ethereum cross, and a Tether cross. So they're going to have those 3 markets for Steem in the Chinese market, or all over, I guess, but it is Chinese exchange. So that got delayed though. Then suddenly they announced it was delayed, and then it kind of dumped back off. So somebody made some money quick there. Not really sure what happened with that. And hopefully it does end up on those exchanges. That would be great, or on that exchange. I want to talk about Golos. Golos was a Steemit clone or a fork of Steemit back in 2016 of the STEEM blockchain. And those who were Steem investors back then, who had Steem power, were granted a certain amount of Golos. I got a little bit of Golos back in 2016. And it was basically for the Russian community, Russian-speaking community primarily. And evidently Russian is the second most spoken language on the internet. I would think it would maybe be Spanish, but I guess it's not. It's actually English, and then Russian, I believe, and then I think it goes to Spanish after that. So everything is in Russian, and you can use Google Translate and stuff like that. And I was doing that for a while, and earned here and there. It wasn't much. I mean, a lot of times I'll earn maybe 5 cents or 7 cents or something. But I thought, well, if this thing blows up at some point, I'm just kind of reposting the stuff that I had over on Steemit. Then I kind of gave up for a while. It seemed like it was really kind of messed up. Well, Golos announced that they're going to keep 10% of all rewards for posting and commenting and all that kind of stuff on Golos. So there is another site to access the Golos blockchain called goldvoice.club that I found out about yesterday, and I can't 100% vouch for it because I just don't know the developer and everything. Other people are vouching for him, saying he's legit and all that stuff like that. But you are putting in your posting key. But my Golos account is worth $45. So anyway, I tried that out, see what it was like and all that stuff like that. But I always keep my eye on Golos because I've always wanted there to become another way where I can earn besides Steemit. Besides the Steem blockchain. Obviously we got DTube, DLive, Steepshot, Steemit. We've got all these things that connect to the Steem blockchain. But I've always wanted there to be a few of these other ones that would pop up so that I can post different content on each one, and I've got all these multiple streams of income that aren't tied to the same blockchain. Sola is one, still playing around with it, just kind of seeing where it's going to go. Keeping my eye on it. Golos, keep my eye on it. The two that I think have more potential that are built not on the STEEM blockchain, but essentially are a clone. You know, they took the code and then they're going to build their own thing. Is Vice and Smoke. Vice is going to be for the adult industry, and Smoke is going to be for the cannabis industry. And I could see those maybe getting some traction if their interface is decent and a lot of people kind of group around it. Now, circling back, one of the last things I want to talk about is Electroneum, because you know, I was very bullish on Electroneum because the Telegram chat, all that stuff, all the following on Facebook, all the people on YouTube, anytime I put up an Electroneum video, people just got super excited about Electroneum. And it just seemed to have that cult following, and that it would, you know, had the potential to do really well. Well, it went up to 22 cents, and then it fell all the way back down, and then they had all kinds of issues and everything. So at every turn, every time there was some kind of situation that was popping up, to tell you the truth, it seemed like the team kept dropping the ball. And I wasn't around for part of it because I got in after the ICO, so they were dropping the ball during the ICO and had to delay their launch. And then, you know, with the mobile miner, it got delayed. Like, all these things kept getting delayed. Then there was a particular situation where there was an update for the wallet, and you know, and then suddenly the new wallet code didn't work. It was just like they weren't testing this stuff, and they just didn't have enough people that were involved in it that knew what they were doing, and there were just all kinds of issues at every turn. So I think people kind of got worn down from that, and a lot of people got their Electroneum at like a penny. These people that were in the ICO, I think after enough issues, maybe a lot of people threw in the towel. I'm not really sure. My cost basis in Electroneum is 4 cents. I still have my position, but my question is, with all these Monero forks coming out, does that really hurt the premise of Electroneum? Because in some ways, I was looking at Electroneum as being, well, there's Aeon. I know there's two Aeons, but the Aeon that's older, that was a fork of Monero, there's that one, and then there was, you know, Monero, obviously, and then Electroneum. And so I kind of thought, well, if Electroneum becomes, you know, this, essentially this clone of Monero that has a mobile app and that maybe is more user-friendly and has like maybe kind of a different, what should I say, like a different user base, or, you know, there was more marketing money behind it and stuff like that, could it succeed better? But then now we've got this other stuff that's kind of popping off, Monero Classic, Monero Original, and all that kind of stuff, and that's just popping off at $20 a coin. So I mean, let me know what you guys think, if that kind of hurts Electroneum, that there's all these Monero forks, and we got MoneroV coming out at the end of the month as well. 6 days, and you're going to get 10 MoneroV for every XMR, every Monero that you have. So looking forward to that, you know, if you got it and you have your keys and all that. So, but just as a recap, I don't really see us hitting lower lows in this market. And I know some of the viewership has definitely dropped off on this channel for if you're watching on YouTube. And then on, you know, as the price of Steem goes, when it goes down, you see less viewership over there as well. But it's all price based. So if you guys are out there and you're watching this, it's something like you got to stay somewhat engaged in this, even when the prices are low. I know it's kind of tough, but it's like today I'm resyncing my Smart Cash wallet just to make sure that I got my smart rewards on the 25th. And it's just like, I'm always trying to constantly stay engaged, and I'd like to put more content out there. And it does get a little frustrating when people aren't watching, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to accumulate more and more and more crypto, so that the next thing this pops off, like it's really popping off right now, guys. Look what EOS has done in the last few days and stuff like that. And I've been waiting around for almost a year, you know, building the position and waiting and maybe building a little bit more and continuing to go at it to see what it was going to do. But ultimately, you know, if you can keep some toes in the game, keep some fingers in the game, keep your hand in the cookie jar. And just trying to keep, it's like, again, like Sola and Golos and Ono and all these other platforms, Vice, Smoke. I'm always just looking, taking notes, because there will become a day where there's going to be other platforms, there's going to be some other crypto, there's always opportunities, so you have to be opportunistic, I guess, in crypto, to kind of like keep the longevity with it and experience those gains, because when it goes parabolic, trying to catch up to that, it just happens so fast that you're not going to be able to get your money back in. So it's always good to be trying to earn more and stack more coins. But anyway, guys, I'm going to drop off this live stream. Once again, it was on DLive, on the STEEM blockchain, and on YouTube at the same time on 2 different phones. So that's pretty cool. See you guys later.